and welcome to Gary's Travels and Adventures. And I'm Gary. Today I'm going to go check out a place called Fort Craig. It's located in New Mexico, really close to Socorro, in between Socorro and Truth or Consequences. And it was a fort built in 1854 to help with the Indian raids, and it was an essential fort that was built along the Rio Grande to help fend off Indians. So yeah, let's go check it out. Two famous leaders that were located here, or stationed here, is Colonel Edward Richard Sprague Canby and Colonel Henry Hopkins Sibley. Here's the wall. So this is a location of what is called the Battle of Val Verde. It was a Civil War battle. The main Battle of Val Verde was fought in the winter of February 21st, 1862. Colonel Edward Richard Sprague Canby's Union troops and Colonel Henry Hopkins Sibley's Confederate forces fought in the arroyos and gullies of a dry riverbed below Val Verde. Controlled of the battlefield constantly moved back and forth between the two forces. The battle was also fought with internal problems. Both sides found their regiments physically cut off from one another and frequently unable to communicate with their leaders. For Union troops, the language barrier between Anglo regulars and Hispanic New Mexico volunteers caused serious communication problems and a fundamental lack of trust. Casualties ran high. The Val Verde engagement finally ended with the Confederate forces holding the field at the end of the tumultuous day's fight. The losses of both sides were comparable. Union forces reported around 68 soldiers killed, 160 wounded, 25 missing or captured. Confederate forces reported 36 dead, 150 wounded, and 1 missing. The next day, Sibley demanded the surrender of the fort and its supplies to the Confederates. Canby adamantly refused. The Confederates, who had lost so many of their wagons, supplies, and equipment that they could no longer contemplate launching an attack on the fort, were forced to press onward, leaving the badly needed supplies of the fort in the hands of Canby and his troops. Although the Confederates had held the field, their objective failed. Modern military views of the battle do not call Val Verde a Confederate victory. So Colonel Edward Richard Sprague led the Union troops here, and Colonel Henry Hopkins Sibley led the Confederate troops. Both on the fort at one time, ultimately going to the Union. Those of Buffalo, they found themselves in the thick of the government's efforts to suppress hostile Indian tribes and settle controversial civil disputes. One regiment helped capture and fame Apache leader Geronimo and also Billy the Kid. Others built and defended telegraph lines, constructed forts and roads, and guarded stagecoaches, mill routes, and survey parties. Military law offered African American men, including ex-slaves, work with dignity. Although they often faced hostility from various settlers they guarded and were given the most difficult and dangerous assignments, they rarely deserted, and they were known to have received fewer court-martials for drunkenness than white cavalrymen. A few black cadets studied at West Point, and by the time the frontier years had drawn to a close, 11 black soldiers had received national medals of honor. U.S. Army Commander William Tecumseh Sherman, who had at the beginning expressed opposition to the conscription of black regulars, was later heard to proudly describe them as, in 1879, as good troops, first-rate soldiers faithful to their tasks, brave as the occasion calls for. Buffalo soldiers. Alright, well that's going to conclude our little adventure that we took today out to Fort Craig. I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. and like and hit that notification button. That way every time I put a video out, you can get a notification to watch it. And until next time, take it easy. Be safe. Bye.